Yo, what is going on, guys? Brandon Gentile here. Friday, March 31st, 2023. Believe it or not, I cannot believe it. Time flies when you're having fun, and time flies when you sleep like a baby at night. When you have your assets outside the system, you're not beholden to an insurance company or stocks or a brokerage account or something like that to try to get your money. Because when we live in a world where that's the case, as we're seeing this more and more and more, we see the Restrict Act, which we're going to do more exposés on the Restrict Act and the absolute overreach. But again, it's an Overton window shifter. It's a trial balloon to get people ready for what's coming. We have Trump indictments, 30 counts, and a test, an unprecedented test of American ideals. Cost of living skyrockets, as we've been talking about for a long time. Obviously, a couple staying together because of money constraints. So this is why we talk about money. No one wants to talk about money or things they don't understand really, but then they make all these stupid decisions in life because of money, because they don't understand money. The ripple effects that has of people living together just because of money, just egregiously dumb decisions, and the ripple effects that has on your life, the rest of life, your children, if you have children, it really, really is remarkable. And yet no one wants to talk about this garbage because, why not? It's hard stuff to talk about. It's stuff that actually moves the needle and actually matters in life. Social Security Trust Fund depletion date moves 1 year earlier to 2034, Treasury says. That is very generous, by the way. I would say it's probably 2024. They're already insolvent, guys. This is hilarious. We actually did a year ago, or a little under a year ago, we did an article or two based on Social Security and the kind of what was going on there, and how you can save Social Security with just making a small bet. You could save Social Security because doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity, right? Expecting a different result. And so we actually went over this very thing. We actually talked about Social Security and your 401k. We did separate articles and separate videos on how you could take an asymmetric bet to save all these programs and to save yourself in retirement. Hey, if you don't want to read it, if you don't want to check it out, whatever. And don't look now. But all the Bitcoin or all the crypto bros, all the other, the Wall Street guys, all these people that have been trashing Bitcoin for the last 12 months, the people like me, the people that think like me, the people that are all over the place that I spend my time with, understand Bitcoin because it's actual money. We have to understand money, what money actually is, in order to understand Bitcoin. Most people only understand the fiat world. They understand the dollar. They don't understand money at all. And here we are, again, the 3,000th time Bitcoin's been dead and it's going nowhere. Yet, here we are again, Bitcoin nears third positive month and streamlining construction with blockchain. Bitcoin just, 50, 60, 70% higher on the year. I think it's 70% higher in the year. And, again, this is a long-term game. We build in the bear markets when we're getting, people don't understand us and they give you crap, and in the bull markets, when Bitcoin takes off like a rocket and blows people's faces off, then it's great to come out and meme people to death and talk trash and tell people how ridiculous they are for not understanding money. Because money is just your time and energy. You go and spend all the time and energy away from your family for whatever reason, and then you store in a liability you think is an asset, the dollar or a fiat currency. So this is why I've saved gold and silver for a long time. This is why I now really exclusively over the last handful of years buy Bitcoin, because I understood a while back that, wow, Bitcoin is the truest money we have. It's a finite asset for my finite time. I don't know of any other asset, two finite assets. It's the only two finite assets I know of, so I have to make that trade. I can't trade my finite time for infinite dollars or infinite blades of grass. That would be the worst trade of all time. That'd be the worst investment decision. This is one of the reasons why I started the blog again and the YouTube over the last couple of years to share how we've 15x our wealth, our family office, over the last 8 to 10 years. And it's because we don't think like school teaches you. We don't think like CNBC teaches you. We don't think like the mainstream. We don't think like a 401k person. We don't think like any type of financial advisor, anyone. We don't think like that. Those are mainstream thoughts and opinions and old legacy systems that are crumbling before our eyes. Everything's in trouble. Obviously, right? Banks are in trouble. You can't audit banks. Central banks are in trouble. Regional banks, community credit unions, the bonds are in trouble. That means when bonds are in trouble like this, in all the endowments, pensions, insurance companies, stock brokerage accounts, everything, retirement accounts are all based on the bond and the enslavement of the bondage, the root word bondage, you know you're going down. You're buying corporate bonds are fine, but you're buying government bonds and you're enslaving yourself in the future, guaranteeing taxation on your future and your children's future. Period. That end of story. It's literally engaging in the slave trade, and all these companies now are underwater. That's why these companies and these banks are going underwater. That's why insurance companies are starting to have problems, because they are all betting on these guaranteed returns from bonds. Yet bonds haven't had a real yield to them in I don't even know how long, years. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. So, again, at some point, they're going to have to start printing again. This is the conundrum. This is where Bitcoin wins regardless, because it is true money. It is the only money, the acceptable money there is, finite money for a finite time. There's nothing else comparable. So not besides that, when they have to pivot, because they're going to have to pivot unless they want the entire system to completely implode on itself, which, hey, there's an argument for that. But if they don't want that, which they don't, they will print to high heaven. And that is coming over the next year or two, the next 5 years, 10 years. And we're going to be hundreds of trillions. We're going to be quadrillions into debt here in the coming, probably next decade or two. The dollar will lose 99% of its value again over the next 10 to 20 years. Someone was arguing me with that the other day, and it absolutely will. It's already lost 99% of its purchasing power over the last 110 years. And that will only speed up. We're at the exponential curve phase, the hockey stick part. So the debt will keep ballooning, and that's why you're going to see Bitcoin take off and absolutely destroy every asset. And we show this all the time. Here's the debt going parabolic all the time. We just talked about this, right? The debt going parabolic. And here is the dollar, the last 5 years, getting destroyed by Bitcoin. So you're holding dollars, you're getting destroyed. Bitcoin is eating your lunch. So this is why this is so important, to see what is actually going on in the world, understanding that the dollar is debt, it's a liability. And most people hold this thinking they're going to get ahead in life. Good luck. This is why we choose to hold in Bitcoin, because it's actual money and it goes up in value over time. This is Bitcoin versus the dollar. The dollar is getting crushed by Bitcoin. So to go into this quick, before I get off my soapbox, I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. Please share this out. The algorithm hates truth, by the way. It's not financial advice, it's freedom advice. The 10-year, the trifecta, the dog that wags the tail, 3.48 on the 10-year. Not a ton of move there necessarily. Again, a lot of move in general. Bonds shouldn't be swinging like this. Like we said, there's a lot of problems in the bonds market. The Fed's still trying to raise rates. We got a real clown car that Jerome Powell has put us in. 102.5 on the Dixie here, the dollar relative strength. So that's really interesting, because again, this is just been continuing to drop. And the weakening dollar, as we can see here over the last week or two, is just beginning to drop, because people are seeing in the future they're going to have to print. The dollar's going to have to ease up, and we can't be collapsing all these global economies unless we want war, unless we want really crazy stuff to happen, which part of me thinks they kind of do, but I think they truly want some chaos, but because they want to pass a lot more laws and regulations to steal more of our freedoms and liberties. Again, this is commonplace. That's what governments do. This is not arguable. Look at all the books I share constantly about how societies work, how governments work. That's their job, is to take your freedoms. And that's why we have the Constitution. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence were the things that gave us, for the first time in history, humans, the ability to say, no, my rights come from God, not from you, government. You are there to work for me, period. And money comes from value creation between two people and transacting between two people. That's it. It doesn't come from government either. Government doesn't produce anything. It doesn't produce money. We gave them these powers, which is beyond stupid. And now they have taken it and created their own monster with it. And we are about to pay the price. We are paying the price, and we're going to continue paying the price. So the Dixie, and then the third part of this trifecta is, look at crude. It's up to 75, 76 here. It's climbing. People thinking, hey, things are going to take off. Look at that in the last week or two, last couple of weeks, gold, really, commodities, crude oil really shooting up, as well as silver up above 24. So the three liquidity indicators showing us again, and kind of really proving that out to be the case, of things kind of weakening and people seeing some softening in the market, and hey, they're going to have to print again at some point here. Silver and gold really shooting up. Gold touched 2,000 the other day. Silver up above 24 for the first time in a while. First time in the highest in nearly 2 months, as fears about the recent banking system, spread. And then Bitcoin, again, 28 and a half. I don't know what the intraday high was. Yeah, it looks like about 28 and a half. So again, highs we haven't seen since, 9 months ago. So it's going to continue. It's going to continue. Absolutely will continue. And those that are prepared will thrive. Those that have their Bitcoin, their gold and silver outside the system, their monetary assets outside the system, it's a bearer instrument, no counterparty risk. They've got food storage, water, energy, security, firearms, ammo, lead, and they're building community with with people like this, building community. This is the way out of, when you zoom out, at the end of the day, this is what I want to leave you with. When you zoom out, what do you see? Zoom way the heck out. Stop getting in the weeds. Shut off Twitter. Shut off, Facebook. Shut off Instagram. Don't get in the weeds. Just zoom out and think for a little bit. Meditate. Pray on what's happening. It'll become very clear as to what is truly going on, and you'll see very quickly the steps that are being taken to squeeze you, take your liberties, freedoms, destroy free markets, and it's very obvious. So you have to prepare accordingly. Spread the message, spread the word, spread truth, share truth anywhere you see it, spread it out, because the only reason that we are going to turn this around is because people are going to see truth, and it's going to resonate with them in their heart, their intuition, and up here as well, their intellect, and they're going to resonate with it, and then we start changing things, and the education changes. We start moving to a Bitcoin standard. We start moving to this world where we have abundance, we have rising standard of living, and we have lowering of costs. That's a true deflationary world where we get more for less, instead of this inflationary fiat legacy Titanic that's sinking where you get less for more. So it's our choice. It's up to us. What do we want to do? It's not red versus blue. It's the state versus you. It's the 1% versus the 99%. There's way more of us. And remember, at the end of the day, 3% of the people gave us the United States of America. 3% fought for America, and not many more supported it. And it grew over time, but only 3% gave the world America and gave the other 90% of the country the America we know. So think about that. It doesn't take much. And as I tell my kids every day, we listen to Bob Proctor every day and Jim Rohn and personal development. I start the day with 10 to 20 minutes every day. It's not a lot. We don't need to do a lot, but just a little bit every day. Get a little bit better every day. So have an awesome rest of Friday. Have an awesome weekend, and go get prepared. Go get in the sunshine. Go spend time with family and friends, and let's get prepared, because the abundance we want and are seeking, and the truth and the merit we are seeking for society is right around the corner. So get right with God, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, and we will win. I guarantee that. And I will see to it. I will be here for it. So I appreciate you. Please share this out. The algorithm hates truth. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. And this is freedom advice, not financial advice. And I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. We will see you on the next one.